Good morning, I'm Suzanne Kohler, and I'm glad to be here today to talk about the Build for the Future campaign. This is a capital campaign, and I'm going to introduce some of the elements that we aim to address through the funds that we will be receiving. I'm going to start with a story about my friend Victoria, who I invited to join us at the Lessons and Carols service in December. She had never been in the church, so as she entered, she caught a quick glimpse of the sanctuary and shared a first impression which captured sentiments shared by many of us. It's a lovely setting, such a classic church environment. What a wonderful scene. In short, there's much about the sanctuary we all appreciate and likely will retain. At the same time, there are opportunities to improve, not only through updating aesthetics and finishes of our sanctuary, but addressing functional improvements as well. For those with mobility challenges, our current sanctuary may only be accessed via the colonnade walkway, which encloses the garden and the columbarium, or the Monroe Street ramp, which provides access to the sanctuary at its midpoint. This ramp is also the access for those with mobility issues to be able to reach offices, the education areas, and social areas of the church building, and that is done from the top of the ramp. This configure requires exiting the sanctuary building to access the rest of Larchmont Church's spaces, as the interior passages all have steps. To access restroom facilities is truly inconvenient for those with mobility limitations. Access to the chancel currently is only via the stairs, as well as indicated by this photo. So that has other limitations for us in our services. The other passage to the rest of the facilities is a narrow passageway that limits transitions due to the change in floor levels between the two buildings, the sanctuary and the office, education, social building. Creating an inclusive environment for all will include interior ramping connections and consideration of restrooms easily accessible and potentially additional restrooms near the back of the church. At the back of the church, we have our narthex, which serves as our main entryway. The narthex has recently received upgraded lighting, and although much brighter, it still remains a very limited space. Evaluating how to create more open arrangements within the narthex will be explored, and renovation will aim to create an entry narthex that can accommodate current needs and anticipate future options, adding a useful, welcoming environment to the church. The sanctuary has needs that may not be obvious when we gather for worship. The electric panel which serves the sanctuary is aged. The HVAC system for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning is close to the end of its useful life. In short, the systems that support services have inherent challenges. Lighting options can be improved as well, and the current sound systems require manual setup in the hope of achieving the correct configuration to adequately capture special music programming when we do so. Meanwhile, in the loft, the equipment and personnel that support media displays and provide streaming of services is set up with folding tables and limited workspace. As the reach of Larchmont Church in the future will likely continue to rely on technological support, investment in sound, cameras, and lighting are valued. So we ask you to join in with the Build for the Future campaign. Not only your financial resources that we are pulling together for the church, but that we come together as a congregation to support the future of our church and for generations yet to enjoy what we have come to know as our home. Join us as a living stone.